Pick 5, win 5. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else in between. Welcome back to my daily betting show where it is my job to give you my 5 favorite plays in the sports betting world. It was an unfortunate yesterday. It was unfortunate. We were only 1-4. I know I said in the intro of yesterday's show that I was on fire, and while that was true, I did admit yesterday was the toughest day of picks that I'd made in the entire show, and ultimately it ended up costing us. However, I don't think they were bad picks. I do honestly think we got a little bit screwed. I know that's easy to say whenever you lose games, but let's just look at the rundown. The Guardians are up 4-0 over the Pirates. They end up losing. That should never happen. I had the Yankees money line against the Angels. I said Carlos Rodon doesn't give up a bunch of home runs. He'd already given up 2 in the first 4 innings. That sucked. The Rockies plus 1.5. Maybe that was just the play that I shouldn't have gone with. Fair enough. I tried back in my boy Austin Gomber. Maybe that wasn't the smartest thing to do in hindsight. And then the Boston Red Sox can't cover against the Athletics. They can't even beat the Athletics. We're going to talk about Oakland later on in the show, so I don't want to give too many words to them right now, but just know I am very frustrated. However, I'm not frustrated with any of you guys because you have been showing so much love on the videos, so much support, and I do tremendously appreciate it. For all the new people here, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm giving out picks all the time. I know I went 1-4 yesterday, but we still made profit in 12 of the last 16 days. If you can't live with taking profit in 75% of your days, then honestly, go look for a new channel because I don't know what to tell you. But I'm doing my best here, and I do think I have some good picks coming up for you today. Let's go ahead and jump into my first pick of the show. I like the San Diego Padres money line against the Toronto Blue Jays. On the mound for the Padres, dare I say it, future Cy Young winner Blake Snell. The guy's 6-7 with a 2.21 ERA and a 1.22 WHIP, going against Chris Bassett, who's 9-5 with a 4.12 ERA and a 1.23 WHIP. Bassett has an ERA over 4.50 in each of the last 2 months, whereas Blake Snell over his last 10 appearances has gone 58 innings, and he has a 0.62 ERA. He's given up 4 earned runs in his last 58 innings. This is truly one of the greatest stretches from a pitcher that I can imagine, and it's coming courtesy of Blake Snell. It's incredible, but it is what's happening. The last time we saw him, he gave the Padres, can't remember if it was 5 or 6 innings, but I know it was a shutout. I only remember they pulled him before he even hit 90 pitches, and we ended up losing the bet that day, which definitely sucked. However, the Padres have won and covered in both games of this series. They've now won 8 of their last 12 games. Is it finally time for them to realize their potential? Certainly, they're progressing in that direction, and they definitely need to because they're 6.5 games out of the wild card. The Diamondbacks are staying hot against the Braves. The Dodgers are starting to take off. The Padres really need to win these games. They definitely need to win these games. The Blue Jays haven't been great at hitting home runs, and that's the one thing you look for them to do with the power bats that they have on this team, the Bo Bichetts, the Vladdy Juniors. You need them to hit home runs. They're not doing it. Yes, their batting average is pretty decent, but they actually don't look that good as far as runs, on base percentage, slugging. All those numbers are way down, whereas the Padres, it's going way up. Their offense is definitely improving and performing as of late. We're going to go with the Padres here to get 3 wins from 3 in the series for pick number 1 of the day. Pick number 2, I like the Chicago Cubs money line versus the St. Louis Cardinals. I can't believe I'm saying this. The Cardinals lead Major League Baseball in batting average over the last 30 days of play. They've gotten a lot better on offense. Now, I know you might be looking at that or hearing that rather and thinking, okay, so why am I not betting the Cardinals here? Well, they're starting Steven Matz. Steven Matz is 0-7 with a 4.86 ERA and a 1.51 WHIP. He's also going against Marcus Stroman of the Cubs, who is 10-6 with a 2.88 ERA and a 1.09 WHIP. The Cardinals are 4-16 this season when Matz starts the game. They're 4-16. That means they win 20% of the time. If you look at Stroman, yes, he's had a couple of tough outings recently, but he had a 2.10 ERA last month. He was an all-star. We know what you can expect from this guy. He's going to be able to deliver more times than not. And, of course, a 1.09 WHIP compared to a 1.51 WHIP, we definitely like that. I know I was going on about the Cardinals offense and the improvement they've shown, but the Cubs just played the Nationals, and yes, it's only the Nationals, but in one game they scored 8 runs, and in another they scored 17. So their offense, it's definitely clicking too. Matter of fact, if you look across the board, runs scored, batting average, slugging, OBP, both teams are in the top 10 over the last months. So yes, the Cardinals have shown, maybe they're even a little bit better and a little hotter at the plate right now, but the Cubs are right there. They're still getting the job done. It's not like there's a total mismatch here. The Cubs are also better coming out of the bullpen. You really want to see a good start from Stroman. That's the biggest thing. When you have a starting matchup of Stroman versus Matz, the Cubs should be going into the sixth inning with a 2-3-4 run lead. Look for that to happen. Look for them to cash this bet and take the Cubs money line for pick number 2 of the day. Our third pick, I promised I was going to touch more on the Athletics, and that time has arrived. I'm going with the Houston Astros -1.5 versus the Athletics. No, I'm not taking the stupid A's. They're starting to make me very mad, though. They are making me very mad because they're just covering games they shouldn't. You guys, if you guys know anything about me, or if you're longtime subscribers to the channel, you'll know that I'm very logic-based. One of my favorite sayings is it's never the right time to do the wrong thing. That includes even if it's working out. And I know the Athletics, I don't know what the numbers are. They've covered in something like 20 of their last 35, something like that. Like, they have been good against the spread lately. But the numbers just aren't there to support it, aside from the actual results. Like, they're the third lowest scoring team in baseball over the last 30 days. They still have the worst bullpen in the MLB. Their starting pitchers are awful. They aren't hitting home runs. The numbers just aren't there. I don't want to call it an aberration because they've been doing so well against the spread consistently, but the composition of it just doesn't match up to the final result. And in situations like that, I know the final product of their good spread record might look shiny and appealing, but the reality is they haven't earned that. They haven't earned our trust yet. And you look at the Houston Astros, I definitely like them in this matchup. On the mound for them, it's going to be JP France. He's 4-3 with a 3.31 ERA and a 1.26 whip. He is going against Hogan Harris, who's 2-3 with a 6.51 ERA and a 1.47 whip. Harris has a 12.56 ERA in his 2 months this start. A 12.56. He gave up 5 earned runs in one and 7 in the other. He's given up now 4+ earned runs in 4 straight starts. On the opposite side, France, he has not had a single one of those games since May. He's gone 2 months without giving up 4+ ERA, 4+ earned runs, and his ERA, he's kept that thing low. The Astros, I know that I was talking about the Athletics not being able to score. Guess what? The Astros are 4th in scoring over the last 30 days. Am I a little concerned that Michael Brantley, Yordan Alvarez, and Jose Altuve are out? A little bit. But I think they're still going to win this game, and I think they're still going to be able to cover. The Athletics are still horrendous at home. The Astros can win on the road. We are definitely looking at them to do that and to put an end to the reign of terror that the Athletics have put me through. That's pick number 3. Pick number 4, I like the Milwaukee Brewers on the money line versus the Philadelphia Phillies. Some big-name pitchers going in this one, but one of them definitely outshines the other. Corbin Burns getting the nod for the Brewers, 8-5 with a 3.73 ERA and a 1.11 whip. Taijuan Walker for the Phillies, 11-3, got a really nice record, 4 flat ERA and a 1.25 whip. Now, Walker was excellent last month. He was amazing, but his other months haven't been good. His ERAs on those other months, he had a 4.97 to open the season, then he had a 6.11, and so far this month, he has a 4.50. Now, you look at a guy like Corbin Burns. He's been much steadier. In 3 starts this month, he has a 1.89 ERA. The last time we saw him, he went 6 innings, did not allow a single earned run, and had a 13 strikeouts. The Brewers have now won 14 of their last 20 games. I'm not saying that to say that they've been a hotter team than the Phillies, because the Phillies, as of the last month and a half or 2 months, have been playing really solid baseball. They've been putting some wins together. However, I feel like that's been getting the notoriety, the recognition in the public, whereas the Brewers have not. It's never that fun to root for the Brewers because they don't score a bunch of runs. They're in a small market. Yes, I understand all that. However, this is a team that is winning games. Their offense is getting better. It's definitely getting better. And of course, they've got the pitching to go with it. And Burns, I think he's better than Taijuan Walker. And Milwaukee's also better coming out of the bullpen than Philadelphia is. The key for this one, don't let the Phillies hit home runs. I know that sounds kind of cheap in the modern era of baseball, but don't let them hit home runs. I mean, Kyle Schwarber, he's the Phillies' leader in home runs. He's hitting 190 at the plate. Your leadoff guy is hitting 190. He has one job. He is swinging for the fences every time that he is there. Corbin Burns, Don't leave one of those sliders hanging over the middle of the plate. Keep it on the outside. Make him chase. He will expand the strike zone to go after it. And if you do a good job with your location, he will not be able to hit that ball. He won't be able to hit the home runs. And that will be a major catalyst in the Brewers winning this game. Got a little jumbled up there. You guys know what I'm trying to say. That's pick number 4. Of course, we now have one final pick left in the show. Before I give it to you guys, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you're locked in. We've got a bunch of winners coming out all the time, and we're looking to get back to winning ways today, just like the San Francisco Giants looking to get back to winning ways against the Cincinnati Reds. That's my final pick of the show. The Giants on the money line. They lost to the Reds yesterday. They beat them the day before. On the bump in this one, it's going to be Alex Cobb for the Giants. He's 6-2 with a 2.82 ERA and a 1.32 WHIP. Going against Andrew Abbott, who's only 24 years old but looks like a seasoned vet. He's 4-2, 2.45 ERA, 1.01 WHIP. Now, the problem with Abbott is he gives up a few too many home runs considering his ERA and WHIP. Good news for him is the Giants have the 3rd fewest home runs in baseball over the last 30 days. That's not why we're looking to the Giants in this one. No, we're looking to the Giants because they have been on a nice win streak. They had won 7 straight until it was snapped with that loss yesterday. I think they are in a spot where they're going to bounce back. I was talking about the Padres making the wild card earlier. Giants are about 5 games ahead of them, so maybe they're trying to hold them off as best they can. Maybe they're going to be buyers at the deadline. Who really knows? Now, Abbott hasn't been at his best lately, whereas you look at a guy like Cobb, he has a .75 ERA and a 1 flat WHIP this month. He's had a few impressive performances. Definitely going to need some of those from him because the Reds, although the offense has completely fallen asleep coming out of the All-Star break, they do still have talent on that side of the baseball. But you look at the Giants, they're the more proven commodity as of late. Like I said, the 7 straight wins, the offense has been there. Aside from the Reds scoring 10 runs and ultimately still losing that game, they haven't been able to get runners past home plate. I think we're looking at a low-scoring game here, and I do like the Giants to come out with a win. So let's go through the final rundown. Top of the show, I took the Padres money line versus the Blue Jays. After that, the Cubs money line versus the Cardinals. Astros -1.5 versus the Athletics. Brewers money line versus the Phillies, and Giants money line versus the Reds. Guys, that's going to do it for the Thursday episode of Pick 5, Win 5. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I'm here every day giving out picks. Like the video if you enjoyed. Comment, let me know which of the picks you're fading, which of them you're tailing. And until I see you all next time, I'll be back very soon. Have a great day.